My PowerPoint presentation is on Edvard Munch. Family. Edvard Munch was born on December 12, 1863 in Løiten, Norway. Christian Munch, Edvard's father, was an Army Medical Corps doctor, and he was also very religious. Edvard's mother, Laura Catherine, was a homemaker and mother of 5. The family moved to Oslo in 1864. Tuberculosis, also known as the wasting disease, was a disease where the mind was still with it, but the body was slowly wasting away. Tuberculosis was the #1 killer of people back in the 1800s and is still a threat today. The virus affected the lungs and caused coughing, sneezing, and very high fevers. Tuberculosis was considered extremely contagious because it was an airborne virus. In 1868, Edvard lost his mother due to a deadly virus. Edvard was devastated by her death. To make matters worse, in 1877, Edvard lost his sister Sophie, also from tuberculosis. Schooling. Edvard enrolled in technical college in 1879, but dropped out shortly after to follow his passion of art. In 1881, Edvard joined the School of Design and later moved into an apartment or studio with 6 other artists. All 6 of these students were under the watchful eye of Christian Kong, who Edvard was extremely influenced by. In 1885, Edvard was awarded with a scholarship from Frudestad, which allowed him to travel to Paris to gain further knowledge of art. The Sick Child. Edvard created this painting in 1886 and many other versions thereafter. The Sick Child was brought about by Edvard's horrible memories of his sister Sophie dying from tuberculosis. Edvard's constant loss of loved ones created his focal point for most of his artworks. The Storm. In 1893, Edvard created The Storm, the first of the Frieze of Life paintings. The Frieze of Life was a collection of Edvard's that consisted of 6 paintings. People wanted the show to be stopped because they were considered terrifying and threatening, but Edvard had so much loss and sadness in his life that he had to cope with it somehow. Because of these 6 paintings, he was looked upon as an expressionist artist. He truly painted how he felt and didn't care what other people thought. The Scream. 4 versions were created, 1 pastel on board and 3 oil on canvas. It also was part of the Frieze of Life series, and this painting is one of a man screaming. However, the 2 guys in the background didn't hear him. That is how Edvard felt his whole life, that he had so much pain but no one understood and that no one really cared. Mind and Body. Edvard Munch starting out at a very young age, was forced to deal with many deaths. Dealing with death put Edvard in a very dark and isolated place. You can see and feel what was going through Edvard's mind in each and every one of his artworks. The later years. The passing of his father in 1886, the passing of his brother in 1895, the passing of his sister in 1926, and the passing of his Aunt Karen, who looked after him after his mother's death, died in 1931. Edvard had a hard time coping with so many losses and turned to drinking. After being hospitalized, he was soon recovering and was seen as a whole new man. Edvard was finally able to be at peace. He soon became known for a whole different type of art, like landscaping. He could finally hear the birds chirping, and he seemed to be more at peace, and most of his artworks in the later years were of nature. Edvard sadly died in January 23rd, 1944, at the age of 80. Thank you.